But when it comes to the Michael movie, there are shocking secrets, hidden details, and behind-the-scenes stories that most fans still don't know about.
The recording studio that Michael had built, where he created the demos for the Thriller album, this room has so much history in it.
From unforgettable behind-the-scenes moments and hilarious on-set bloopers to unexpected production challenges, the making of Michael was anything but ordinary. Every day of filming brought new surprises, proving that there was always something exciting happening behind the cameras.
Gabby! Huh? It's Applehead.
Yeah.
In some cases, filming faced unexpected setbacks as legal complications created delays and forced the production team to overcome challenges behind the scenes.
We had a legal issue we found out after we had finished shooting the film that the estate didn't realize at the time.
While some members of Michael Jackson's family chose not to take part in the project, their absence only added to the curiosity and speculation surrounding the film's production.
I just butt it out, and I've left it alone because it's not my project.
And now, you're about to discover the secrets, challenges, and unbelievable behind-the-scenes stories that shaped the Michael movie. Age transformation magic. How do you transform an actor across 2 decades of life without losing the expressions that make a performance feel real? That was one of the biggest challenges facing the filmmakers behind Michael. The movie required Jaafar Jackson to convincingly portray Michael Jackson from his late teens through adulthood. Instead of relying on heavy prosthetics that could restrict his movement and facial expressions, the team took a different approach. Using a combination of subtle makeup techniques and advanced digital effects, they carefully adjusted Jaafar's appearance while preserving every smile, glance, and performance detail. During filming, special tracking markers mapped his facial movements, allowing visual effects artists to make precise adjustments later in post-production. The result was remarkable. Jaafar's appearance evolved naturally throughout the film, creating a believable passage of time without ever feeling artificial. Rather than distracting audiences, the visual effects enhanced the performance, making the transformation almost invisible. But that wasn't the only surprising thing happening behind the cameras. The viral behind-the-scenes moment. At first glance, the image looked emotional and heartfelt. Jaafar Jackson appeared to be sharing a touching moment on set. But when fans looked closer, they noticed something completely unexpected. What do you think? Was it a genuine behind-the-scenes moment or just another viral edit? Let us know in the comments below. Rebuilding the Victory Tour. Recreating Michael Jackson's legendary 1984 Victory Tour was far more complicated than most people realize. The original concerts featured massive stages, towering steel structures, powerful lighting systems, and unforgettable visual effects. Rebuilding all of that physically would have been nearly impossible. Instead, the production relied heavily on green screen technology. Jaafar and the dancers performed on a limited physical set, while visual effects artists later expanded it into a massive digital stadium. Thousands of seats, giant lighting rigs, laser effects, and spectacular pyrotechnics were added in post-production. Every detail was carefully designed to capture the scale and energy of one of the biggest tours in music history. What audiences will eventually see on screen is a breathtaking recreation. But during filming, much of that spectacular world existed only in the imagination of the cast and crew.
Money on the phone.
The Neverland scene that will never be seen. One of the most dramatic sequences ever filmed for Michael may never reach audiences. The scene reportedly showed Michael Jackson standing alone, staring into his reflection as flashing police lights illuminated the windows outside. It was designed to be one of the film's most emotional and powerful moments. But after legal complications surrounding the Chandler settlement came to light, the entire sequence was abandoned along with much of the original third act. For the filmmakers, this wasn't just a creative loss. It meant discarding completed scenes that had already consumed significant time, money, and effort. Performances were filmed, sets were built, and resources were spent, only for the footage to be locked away, possibly forever. For many crew members, watching finished work disappear because of legal restrictions became one of the most painful moments of the entire production. The 22-day race against time. Once the legal issue was confirmed, the production faced an enormous challenge. The cast and crew had to regroup almost immediately to create an entirely new ending for the film. In June 2025, they reportedly had just 22 days to rewrite, rebuild, and reshoot a brand new third act. For a production of this size, that timeline was almost unimaginable. Sets had to be reconstructed. Costumes had to be prepared again. Actors had to return. Choreography had to be adjusted. And most importantly, the story itself had to be reshaped. This wasn't a simple fix. It was a complete reinvention of how the movie would end. The fact that the team managed to pull it off under such intense pressure remains one of the most remarkable behind-the-scenes stories connected to the project. The budget mystery. As the reshoots continued, another question began circulating through Hollywood. How much was all of this actually costing? Different reports offered dramatically different answers. Some outlets claimed the new ending added nearly $50 million to the budget, while others reported the additional cost was closer to $10 to $15 million. The huge gap between those estimates fueled even more speculation about what was really happening behind the scenes. While the studio publicly denied claims of chaos, conflicting reports only increased public curiosity about the true scale of the production's challenges. Whatever the final number was, one thing became clear. The legal crisis came with a significant financial cost, one of the most expensive music biopics ever made. As delays, reshoots, and rewrites piled up, the budget continued to grow. Industry estimates eventually placed the total cost of Michael between $165 million and $200 million, making it one of the most expensive music biopics ever produced. That's the kind of budget usually associated with major superhero blockbusters, not a biographical drama. Every delay, crew change, legal complication, and last-minute rewrite added more pressure to an already ambitious project. For Lionsgate, the stakes became enormous. The film would need a strong box office performance simply to justify its massive investment. By this point, the production had already survived strikes, legal battles, extensive reshoots, and a completely rebuilt ending. Few biopics in Hollywood history have faced this level of financial pressure before reaching theaters. A personal tragedy behind the scenes. As if production challenges weren't enough, another unexpected setback struck the project. Screenwriter John Logan was reportedly dealing with the devastating impact of a major wildfire while simultaneously working on crucial script revisions. Unlike budget issues or scheduling conflicts, this was a deeply personal crisis. It served as a reminder that behind every headline, delay, and production problem were real people facing real-life hardships. The situation added another layer of difficulty to a project that was already struggling against time. Delayed again and again. The release schedule for Michael became almost as complicated as the production itself. The film's premiere date shifted multiple times as legal issues, industry strikes, and production delays continued to create obstacles. Each delay increased pressure on both the studio and the filmmakers. Marketing campaigns had to be adjusted. Release strategies had to be reconsidered. And fans were left wondering when they would finally get to see the finished movie. By the time the film reached theaters, it had traveled one of the longest and most turbulent roads of any modern biopic. The 4-hour version. Perhaps the most surprising revelation came during post-production. At one stage, reports suggested that Michael ran nearly 4 hours long. The enormous runtime reportedly sparked discussions about splitting the project into 2 separate movies, a rare move for a music biopic. Such a decision would have completely changed the film's structure, marketing strategy, and audience expectations. In the end, the idea was abandoned. Instead, editors worked to streamline the story into a more manageable theatrical cut while preserving the film's most important moments. Even so, the existence of such an extensive version reveals just how much material was created during this ambitious production. And considering everything the project survived, from legal battles and reshoots to delays and budget increases, it's remarkable that the film reached the finish line at all.
Take a step closer to the microphone.
That's it. And I'm gonna need you to keep your feet still. You understand me?
The footage you'll probably never see. Even after surviving legal battles, delays, and extensive reshoots, Michael faced one final challenge: the edit. At one point, the film reportedly ran for nearly 4 hours. To reach a more practical theatrical length, editors were forced to remove a significant amount of footage. And that wasn't an easy decision. When a film is built around emotionally powerful performances, major musical sequences, and years of a person's life, every scene feels important. Cutting even a few minutes can be difficult. Cutting more than half an hour can be heartbreaking. Somewhere in an editing room, there may still be nearly an hour of unseen footage that audiences will never experience on the big screen. Moments that took months to plan, days to shoot, and countless hours to perfect may remain hidden forever. For any filmmaker, that's one of the toughest sacrifices in the entire creative process. A family divided. One of the most interesting behind-the-scenes realities of Michael involved the Jackson family itself. Not every family member participated in the project in the same way. While Prince Jackson reportedly played an active role as an executive producer and maintained a strong presence throughout production, other members of the family chose not to be involved. That difference created a unique dynamic behind the scenes. On one side were family members helping shape how Michael's story would be told. On the other were relatives who remained completely outside the filmmaking process. For the filmmakers, this added another layer of pressure. Every creative decision carried extra weight because expectations weren't coming from a single voice but from a family whose relationship with Michael's legacy remains deeply personal. It serves as a reminder that Michael wasn't simply another Hollywood biopic. It was a film attempting to tell the story of one of the most famous entertainers in history while navigating the expectations, emotions, and perspectives of the family he left behind. And perhaps that's what makes the journey behind this movie so fascinating. The story wasn't only about recreating Michael Jackson's life. It was also about preserving a legacy, managing controversy, overcoming setbacks, and bringing an extraordinarily ambitious vision to the screen against overwhelming odds.
Center, please, center!
Questions of family unity. For a film designed to present a deeply personal and sympathetic portrait of Michael Jackson, differences within the Jackson family became difficult to ignore. As production moved forward, it became increasingly clear that family members did not share the same level of involvement or the same perspective on the project. To some observers, that created a complicated situation. The film was being promoted as a celebration of Michael's life and legacy, yet visible differences among relatives raised questions about how united the family truly was behind the scenes. It served as a reminder that a story this personal can affect people in very different ways, even within the same family. For some, the film represented an opportunity to honor Michael's legacy. For others, it raised concerns about how that legacy would ultimately be portrayed. Paris Jackson speaks out. Among the family members who publicly discussed the project, Paris Jackson attracted particular attention. According to reports, she reviewed an early version of the script and expressed concerns about elements she felt did not accurately reflect her father's story. When those concerns were reportedly not addressed to her satisfaction, she chose not to become further involved with the production. Her comments added another layer of complexity to a film that was already facing intense public scrutiny. The situation became even more noticeable when public statements about family support appeared to conflict with one another. While some individuals connected to the project described the family as broadly supportive, Paris later clarified that those comments did not represent her own personal views. As a result, discussions surrounding the film expanded beyond casting decisions and production challenges. They also became conversations about authenticity, perspective, and who has the authority to shape the story of one of the world's most iconic entertainers. For audiences, these disagreements offered a rare glimpse into the difficult reality of biographical filmmaking. When the subject is as influential as Michael Jackson, every detail matters, every creative choice is scrutinized, and even those closest to the story may not agree on how it should be told. That tension became yet another fascinating chapter in the long and complicated journey of bringing Michael to the big screen.
One of the questions asked was they wanted me to list bands and artists that...
A delicate balancing act. Moments like these revealed just how sensitive the entire production truly was. The filmmakers weren't simply creating a movie. They were navigating a complex relationship between the Jackson family, the media, fans, and the enormous expectations surrounding Michael Jackson's legacy. Every interview, every public statement, and every behind-the-scenes revelation had the potential to spark new debates. In some cases, it even took public clarifications from members of Michael's own family to separate fact from speculation and keep the conversation grounded in reality. Final thoughts. The story behind Michael is every bit as dramatic as the story being told on screen. From massive reshoots and legal challenges to family disagreements, production delays, budget increases, and intense public scrutiny, the film survived obstacles that would have derailed many projects long before reaching theaters. Yet despite everything, the production pushed forward. What began as a biopic evolved into one of the most ambitious, controversial, and closely watched films in recent Hollywood history. Whether you're fascinated by the filmmaking process, the Jackson family legacy, or the challenges of bringing an icon's life to the screen, one thing is certain. The journey behind Michael is almost as extraordinary as Michael Jackson's story itself. So, which behind-the-scenes revelation surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed uncovering these Hollywood secrets, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next story. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.